Hello, welcome back to Be Like Stories. I'm April Pullens, your Chief Energy Officer, and my mission here is simple to help people over 40 build confidence, find joy, and feel unstoppable through the movement. Today, I am thrilled to welcome Ashley Cade, a vibrant member of the Atlanta Track Club Ambassador Program. Ashley is always out here in these streets running with her dog, Truffles, inspiring those around her just by showing up with her energy, kindness, and dedication. She's someone who believes in community, movement, and connection. And we are here to share her story, her running journey, and all the lessons she's learned along the way.
Thank you. Thank you. That was such a wonderful introduction. Such
Because
a
you're so
wonderful introduction.
wonderful.
Wow. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
met you some sometime between when I started running and now. So 2020, no, 2020 COVID. And
Hmm.
I think it was probably maybe 2 or 3 years in that we
Yeah.
met. Do you remember how we met?
The first time I can recall running with you was actually on my dad's birthday. So it was August 20th, and it was the first time I had ever run more than 6 miles. So it was my first 10-mile run ever.
That was
Yeah,
your
over at Stone
20.
Mountain Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember because I was in my mind, I was like, girl, be quiet. I was telling myself, girl, be quiet. Like she don't need your advice. Because I was like, oh, wow, this is your first time training. Where are you running? I was just talking, talking, talking. And what I learned, y'all, is Ashley is like this mellow, chill. She don't do a lot of talking. She do a lot of showing proof. So I was grateful to have met you and then to learn like your whole personality. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
I
the first
definitely
time.
remember that run. Like I said, it was the first time I'd ever run that far. So it was, it's something that kind of sticks out to me.
What made you get into running? Like, have you always been an athlete?
No, actually, the only sport I've ever played was golf. So I played golf for a year or two in high school, and then after that, never played again. Um, I took up running one day because it was I love to tell this story. I took up running because I thought the Peachtree Road Race was a parade. So, yeah, I walked outside. I'm like, what are all these people doing? So I'm thinking I'm just following a parade route. And then I get down there to the finish line, and they're like, congratulations, you just did the world's largest 10K. I was like, what in the world? This is crazy. So, yeah, I
That is
definitely,
funny.
yeah, I am definitely an accidental runner.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. That's
yeah,
crazy.
so,
What year was
yeah, I
that?
never, definitely not an. I would not ever consider myself an athlete. Definitely
It's funny because my perspective of you when I first saw you, I was like, man, she probably was in the military. Like she hardcore runner. I
wouldn't.
think
No,
maybe
I
because
was
she's
just.
petite.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I think that's what it really is. I run so that I can. I don't know, just to keep in shape. It's it for me. Running was more about the community because, like you said, I took up running more during COVID, and then I found the Black Girls Run group, and I figured, okay, well, we're gonna be outside, so we don't really have to social distance too much, and we're not really gonna be talking. So it was just a way to get back out into the community without without the pressure of social distancing.
It's funny that you say we don't have to be talking because I laugh still to this day. And I think I told one of another friend, running friend, I was like, man, I saw a post on Facebook and Ashley was like, hey, who wants to run 8 miles? Conversation unnecessary or not necessary.
Yeah, not necessary. Yeah, whatever. It's
and
cool.
um, and I love that because there's some of us who like to yap, but then
Hmm.
there's also people who are like, I really love the community part of it. Let's just come together and run. We don't have to have full conversations for 8 miles. I've learned over the time that I've run, I actually do like a little bit of silence.
Hmm. And
So,
I've learned that a little bit of conversation goes a long way. because there are other runners that I only see them on long runs every so often. So when we do see each other, we do have these really meaningful conversations, not necessarily in depth about anything in particular, but to catch up on where they are in their running. To me, that's very important because I do feel deeply inspired by a lot of the women that I run with. So, being able to have that level of connection with them, even if we don't see each other regularly, is just, it does something for a person.
That's good. Now you are an ambassador for the Atlanta Track Club.
I am.
So tell the people, because some people are like, oh my gosh, how do I get involved? What can I do? Was it an easy process? Was it a lottery? Like, were you selected?
So actually, it is a very easy process. You just apply online. They are currently accepting applications for the program. So you just tell your running story and how you add to the running community. Last year when I applied, I just said, hey, a friend of mine was an ambassador. I'm inspired by her running journey, and I'd like to be able to get out and share that joy with other people.
Now, I don't know if we can say this. If we can't say it, I'll delete it. But
Okay.
I I saw you say, I want to be Pete. I want to be Pete or something like that. Like I saw somewhere on a Facebook post. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was at an event and I was like, I think that's Pete. I think that's Ashley. I think Ashley is Pete. And so I think one of your posts was like, yeah, that was me. So is that something that like we can talk about?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. I don't know why I wouldn't talk about being Pete because I enjoyed it. It was a pretty big event for me because as a little kid, I was afraid of mascots. So to be able to put that big peach costume on and have fun and wave and smile at people, that was definitely a highlight.
Which event was it?
It was for the 10 Miler Expo.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I was Pete at the 10 Miler Expo, and
Does it get
apparently a
hot?
lot of people have done it, and I was just like, I didn't know if it was going to be a fun thing to do, but it
Is
was.
it a technique to being a mascot? Like, do you have to move your hands a certain kind of way or keep the
Yeah, you
band?
do want to make big gestures, but then you have to realize that, the mascot does most of the work. So, if people see the big peach, they're going to want to come over and interact with it if they're into mascots. Some people are indeed afraid of them still, even as adults. So I was like, oh, okay, well, just let the people come to you.
Oh, did I come to you? Did I? I don't know. I
Were
was
you at the
there.
10 Miler Expo?
Yeah.
You were?
Wait.
Yeah, I was there in the afternoon. I told my mom to come and see me, and that was the best. She was like, "Are you scared in there?" No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Have you done what's your running like history? Have you done marathons, half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks?
Um, okay, so my running history up until the pandemic was only the Peachtree Road Race.
And it
I
was a
only
parade for you. It was a
Yes. So from 2012 to 2020, I ran one race a year. Anything else, it was just me running by myself. And then, like I said, I joined Black Girls Run, and I was like, hey, has anybody done the Triple Peach? And like 90, 100 people said, yeah, it's nothing. It's not a whole lot of running. You can totally do it. So the first year, I was like, oh, okay, fine. So I did the Peachtree, the 10 miler, the half marathon, and then I just went all the way and did the marathon. And right after that, less than 2 weeks after doing the marathon, I did an ultra, my first 50K ultra.
Okay, hold on. We got to
So,
back up. So you've done one race a year. One
yeah,
race.
one
Not
race a
one
year.
race a month. One race a year.
One race a year.
And then you got into the community and they were like, "Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah, so it's not a big deal." And you're like, "Okay, I'm going to do it." But not only did you do the Triple Peach, which is the 10 miler, the uh, Peachtree Road
The half
Race,
marathon,
the half
and the Peachtree.
marathon, you said, you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this full 26 miles. Like, what
Yeah.
goes in your mind? Because that
Um,
doesn't relate to me.
I gotta keep up. I gotta
Okay.
keep up. Like everybody else in the group, they're just like, yeah, I've done like 5 half marathons. I've done 5 of them this year. I've done 15 marathons. Oh, I'm trying to finish all 50 states. I'm doing, so I was just like, hold on. I'm looking at this one race like it's something major. And it's like, no, this is something that people do every weekend.
Mm,
Like, yeah, it's a very like it's an approachable goal.
yeah.
Like it's not some monumental task.
I think
And just getting that perspective. Yeah.
you reframed it, reframed it
Yeah.
because for me, marathons are huge, and I needed the reframing because it's just another race. It's just
Hmm.
another event that people have done before and have not died, and
Right.
they continue to run other races. So that's a really good reframe.
Yeah. And especially since, a lot of the women in the group are like super busy. They have to carve out that time to run 15, 20 miles on the weekend. And it's like, yeah, if they can squeeze it into their day, I think you can squeeze in, a couple hours to run too. Like, come on.
How was the Publix marathon? How was that for you? How was the weather? How was
The weather was great. It is a very lonely race. So you have to get used to running alone.
hmm,
Like,
is it
because other
not a lot of
marathons
crowd
are,
support?
hmm,
Is it not a lot of crowd support?
not necessarily about crowd support. It's just that there was so much distance between me and other runners.
Okay.
Whereas, with a 5K, there's going to be someone around you the
Yeah.
entire way.
Yeah.
10K, you might break off from the crowd. But in a marathon, where, yeah, you just, sometimes you're just out there for a full mile by yourself.
Mm.
So that was a big adjustment for me.
Mm. For anybody who's thinking about doing Publix, do you have any tips or suggestions?
Sign up for the training.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Because you want to because the the people that host the training know the course. They've designed the course. So all of the training is going to get you through that course that they've created. My best time ever for the Peachtree Road Race, it was when I took the training.
Interesting. I'm one who I didn't know that there was a certain way that you should run races because I'm not competitive. Time wasn't a big issue, and then when I started to want to improve my time, I was like, oh, why am I getting 13 or 1380 or 14 miles when I've run just the half marathon the distance? Well,
Hmm.
because I'm zigging and zagging and do all these things, and somebody was like, "You need to run the tangent." I was like, "What is a tangent?" Like nobody talks about what that is. But you're saying like these coaches who have these programs, you can follow them because they know the course. They're gonna go, we go, stay over here to the left or stay follow the blue line or whatever it is, so that you can get right at that 13.2 or 13.1 and 26.2.
Right, right. So they're going to, because it's a completely different thing to to train in your neighborhood. Like even if you're training on Silver Comet or at Stone Mountain, it's
Mm-hmm.
not downtown. It's
It's
not downtown
it's
Atlanta.
not. It's not.
Nothing,
And
you
anybody
know.
who's watching who's not from here, who doesn't live
Mhm.
here, we've got some really intimidating hills here.
Right, and they are not where you think they are, or
Yeah.
at least the hills that they found are not the hills that you are used to. Yeah, they're just not the hills that you're used to seeing. These are hills that are around a corner that, it's just a residential street because, we don't want cars going up this steep of a hill.
So we
Yeah,
do want our runners running 26 miles to take this steep of a hill.
exactly. Like they'll be fine. They can handle it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Is there any particular race that you're like, oh, this was the best race of my life? Or any race that you want to run that you haven't done yet?
My best races are the ones where I placed in my age group. So there was a race in Memphis that was supporting like high school students. Um, it was a 10K. I placed in that one. It was nice and flat, beautiful scenery. You run from Tennessee to Arkansas and back. And then there was the whiskey run, and it was somewhere on the east side belt line.
Okay.
Once again, not a whole lot of Atlanta Track Club runners out there, so I
Mm-hmm.
just had a better opportunity to win.
Mm.
Um, and I think
Some of the
next
new
year,
runners, they don't know about like there's winners in these
yeah,
races. Like most people come out like, oh, I'm gonna have fun and drink some beer, but there's
yeah,
winners, right?
yeah, there are winners. There are
So what
winners.
did that mean? You ran, were you like what place in your age group, or were you placing for the whole race?
I placed in my age group. So I came in first place in my age group, and I think that next year that's definitely what I'm going to focus on more is just running smaller races where I have a better opportunity to win.
What's your desired distance?
I'm definitely going to focus on the 5K and 10K.
Hey,
That
see,
way,
I 5Ks. I applaud everybody who races 5Ks because when I started running, it was just, oh, I'm running and this is wow. And then I started seeing people race 5Ks. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, let me just see what happens. And I raced a couple and I was like, I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't. Because it's like, for me, I feel like, okay, I'm getting into a groove. And finally, when I get to that groove, it's like it's over. But
yeah,
you're pushing so hard. The distance is really, it's a really hard distance to push.
yeah.
So kudos to you because you can have that.
Because for me, I just feel like because I also watch all of the other age groups, which is to say, well, what are women in their 60s running? And I'm like, okay, well, part of me is just like, well, if I can maintain my pace now for another 20 years, then I'm definitely good. If I can still maintain this pace without, because right now, yeah, the I do run at the same pace as like the average 60-year-old woman who wins. Yeah,
Okay. Like, sheesh.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Which is to say that even when I'm 60, the competition is going to be steeper.
Mm,
The competition is going to be much steeper. So yeah, I think that in my 60s, I'm going to still see women running 25-minute
oh,
5Ks.
yeah, you will. I will be out there
Yeah.
cheering you guys on.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. That is the competition I'm working toward. It's like, okay, in 20 years, could I be 5 minutes, faster?
Yeah. Miss V, who's out in right now, she's doing the full marathon and every woman's marathon. And
Mm-hmm.
she amazes me every time I see
Yeah.
her because she's in her 60s and she's always placing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
but
is
she's putting in the
amazing.
work.
Which is
Yeah.
like, okay, like some people race to win. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you can actually do that. And it's not like, you just really got to find which distance you can really excel in,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
my distance, and it's not racing. I just like the vibes. I like
Yeah.
the distance, the time with my mind. It's the half marathon. That's what I love to do. But I'm not out here competing. I know there's a lot of people who like to. It's them versus them, and
Mhm.
they want to come in a place. I'm like, maybe that'll happen later. But my personality, I've never been a competitive person. But for me,
Mhm.
it's like it's me versus me. So how can I be better than I was yesterday? Like today, the 10 miles, and I was like, I got to this hill, and this is the dreaded hill that I never like running, and so I always walk it. And it's right at the last fast mile that I need to do for this part of my training. So I was like, let me take my camera out. Y'all, okay, y'all. So this is the hill, and I just can't. Immediately when I said I can't, I was like, no,
Yeah.
can't say that on social media and then like you no, okay. All right, and then I said, "Oh, you know what? Since I said I can't, now I have to." So I put my phone away and I ran this little funky hill that
Mm-hmm.
that I dreaded and I hated and I'm like, this is hard, but I made it to the top
Yep.
and it was done. So I'm like, it made me reframe how I look at hard things, hills in particular, because I'm like, oh, I'll just avoid it. But then I'm like, well, for the half marathon that's coming in 2 weeks, I can't just stop and go, I'm going to go around.
Right.
I
Right.
gotta,
Yeah. You don't get to. There are no shortcuts on race day.
right.
No
So it's
shortcut.
like, this was a really good lesson. It was a really good lesson for me. And then the caveat after I ran the hill, my legs were like, "Oh, we running?" So then
Mhm.
I'm over the hill and now I'm going at 9:45, which I don't do 9:45s. But I was pushing 11 and I was like, "Oh, my legs think we're still going
Just
over the
running.
hill." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "This is why hill work is so important."
Yeah. Yeah. I love running hills, but it does because you really do have to push yourself. You really have to push yourself, and I think that is why I focus so much on like how do I compare?
Mhm.
Not necessarily in a competitive way, but like, all right, so what's my ranking amongst women in my age group? And then how do I compare to women that are older? Because it's like, well, am I losing ground? Am I keeping up? Because it's like, well, to be in the middle of
Mhm.
women my age, okay, that's fine to me. But then to be at the top for 60-year-old women, I'm like, okay, I still got it. Like, you got to
Yeah,
be able to maintain this.
that's so
Really
good.
got to keep working,
That's
because
really
it's like,
good.
yeah, because it's like somebody like Miss V, like, how long has she been running? Like 15 years, maybe? I don't know.
Right.
Like, way longer than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
And
like,
then
okay, yeah, like, you gotta, you know, I gotta think about like how do I protect my joints? How do I protect my heart? How do I make sure that I'm breathing well enough to sustain this level of activity, you know,
I like
beyond.
that. I like that because the misinformation and the lie that floats around and outside of the running world. It's that running hurts your knees. It messes up your knees, your joints, and that is just not true.
Mm-mm. It doesn't look true.
Scientific. No, it's not.
It doesn't look true.
And the more that you do participate and do it in a smart way. I've seen people who run 7 days a week. They don't do weight, they don't do strength training, they don't do any no rest or recovery. Yeah, you can get hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're out here making sure, like you said, I'm trying to make sure that my heart, my cardiovascular, my joints, all of these things, and you do it the right way. We've seen 80-year-olds. We've seen Miss Betty out there running.
Yeah, she started at 60.
Wow.
Yeah, she started running at 60. And when I see her out there, I'm like, yeah, you kind of got
Hmm.
to keep up. There's a lot
Yeah.
you got to really keep up.
And
Cuz
I
it's
think
like,
for the black community, I know for me, I'm from Chicago. I never saw black
mm-mm,
women running. My mama
no.
said, if you running, you running from somebody.
Yeah.
So,
Now that was a major eye opener joining Black Girls Run was finding so many black women marathoners cuz
yeah.
like you said, I'd never seen them before. And then, you meet up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and everybody's talking about what they're training for. And I'm like, I don't understand what any of that means. I'm training for New York. We're going to Berlin. I'm like, okay, that sounds nice. What does that mean? And then you look on their Facebook page, oh yeah, I just completed my 6 stars. And it's like, oh, this is not like a weekend sort of hobby. Like you're
Yeah.
like totally invested.
Yeah. She wants to come in.
She does well, yeah, she wants to
Let
come in
her,
somewhere.
tell her come on in.
Come on,
Eat
Truffles.
some
Hold on,
treat.
let me get her. Hot dog. What's got you upset? There she is.
Hey, Trevor.
Oh, you're gonna be
Hey.
quiet.
I saw
No.
you ran a race.
Yeah, she did the whole series. She did the whole series. Good
How
girl.
was
It's about
how was that? Because I have my dog and we're still trying to figure it out. But how was that experience?
running with truffles. It
Uh-huh.
is the best. It is the absolute best because everybody just loves her. Everybody loves her. They love seeing her. They're like, oh, look, it's a cute little dog. And then, we did the 3K, which is a really short race. So she's able to sprint the entire time. And it's so funny to see her run. Because I guess, she's just so small,
Yeah.
But
Does she
people love
run?
seeing her.
Does she run fast enough for you to feel like, ooh, this is a workout? Or
Yeah.
you're like, okay, okay,
Yeah. A lot of times I feel like I'm holding her back.
okay.
Yeah, but for the last two races, like for the 5Ks, she wasn't really interested in doing any long runs. So, like, her limit really is about 2 miles. And then, that third mile, she's just like, I want to go
Done.
home.
How old is she?
She's 14.
Oh my
Mm,
gosh. I did not know that.
yeah, yeah, she's a,
You better
she's
go
a,
ahead, Miss
she's a senior
65
pup.
year old.
I know, she's a senior pup.
In ranking, Truffles.
Yeah, yeah, we're two secret seniors.
You are nowhere near senior. How old are you? You're like,
I
what,
am.
30?
I'll be 40 next June.
Okay.
Yep.
Barely getting there. Wow, senior.
Yeah, and that's why I joined. And I was like, yeah, I got to keep up because y'all got tons of marathons, tons of half marathons. I think I've done two half marathons. Yeah, two.
Really?
Yep, just two.
I would have
Just
thought many,
mm-mm,
many more.
mm-mm.
And
I've done
you've done one marathon.
one marathon.
Do you want to do any more?
Yeah, well, I want to keep. Well, I'm gonna do Publix again in 2026. It's not my favorite distance.
Let me just tell everybody who is watching right now, Atlanta's marathon is a beast. So for her to be like, I want to do Publix again. First of all, for the first time, I wouldn't have done it the first time. But
Everybody says they only did once.
yeah, it's a grueling, it's hilly. Some of the professional people come in here and they're like, it is the hardest thing I've ever done, the hardest marathon I've ever done. So for you to say you want to do it again,
I just I don't know. I've got a time goal in my mind for this race. Like I really want to get around the 4 hour mark.
okay,
4:30,
okay,
something like that. But I don't know. It was a good challenge. It was a beautiful course. I like that, we went through so many different parts of Atlanta.
hmm
And I love the scenery of the city.
hmm
So it was just yeah, I just want to be better prepared for it.
yeah. Would you like to do anything out of the state, or once you do Publix again and say I'm good on the marathon?
Uh, well, not really, because honestly, road racing is just not as um, I don't know. Sometimes I get lost in my thoughts when I'm running
Yeah,
on the road.
yeah.
I did sign up for the Chicago Half Marathon in June, so I'll be doing that. But I really want to get more into ultra marathons. I'd really
Okay.
just like to be out in the woods running for, somewhere between 50 and 100 miles.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I had a friend who we did an interview, and her name is Alicia. She said she ran the marathon and was like, that's it.
Hmm.
She was literally like, all this training and then it's over. And so
Yeah.
that got her into doing ultra marathons, and she's run 100 milers. She's such this she's in Atlanta too. You probably know her. She's
Hmm.
always bright and bubbly. But what she told me, I was like, I don't know if I can do the distance with the hallucinations. So I may try like a 30 miles, 50 miles. But she said when she got to the 100 miler, right at about mile 75, she started hallucinating. And I
Mm.
was like, seeing things. She goes, yeah, like I saw this lady with a scarf on her head. And I was like, you can stop right there because
Yeah,
that would terrify me, especially if it's nighttime. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
nowhere. Yeah,
I would be like,
yeah, really, really
"Ooh."
deep in the pain cave, and
Yes. So, but I do. I want to try an ultra, just for the food's sake. I want to eat real food.
definitely that's why I really want to get into it because the food for, you know, 10Ks, half marathons, it's light, and I'd rather, I don't know, I like running and eating.
Yeah.
That just seems a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Stopping to
Yeah.
have a potato after about 20 miles, yeah, I could do another 20.
Sounds so good. Instead
Hmm.
of like I remember running, I think it was London, and I'm like, I despise every single gel that is in my vest right now.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want to have another gel. Please, anybody, is there a French fry? Like some
Like
kind of food.
something, like I
Yeah.
need food.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
body was like, this is not helping. You need food. And I think I ended up finding watermelon, which was like, ah,
Yeah, it's
so good.
food, a real food.
Yeah. Now, we had talked before we got on here about community.
Hmm.
So I definitely want to talk about how the community can be at sometimes in the running space very elitist. People who feel like I've been doing this a long time. I run a certain pace, and they kind of look down on other people who may be just getting started or people who don't run the same type of faster paces. How do you see us bridging the gap between those two worlds?
The best thing that I can do is to, at sometimes just have fun. Let some races simply be about fun. Because the first race I did this year was the MLK drum run, and it was unbelievably cold. I wasn't feeling well, and the only thing that kept me going were the bands that were on the course route. So for me, I was just like, you know what? You just gotta be okay with walking and just having a good time. Like this has to, like some races are just for fun. And I think that as more experienced runners, when you invite people, like I know I invite people to races all the time. The first thing they say is, "Oh, I can't keep up with your pace. I don't run fast. I don't remember the last time I ran." And I always tell them, "Hey, if you want to come to the race, I'll walk it with you. We don't have to run." And being able to show that, hey, I'm willing to sacrifice my time to get people out here, to get people active, to show you that, hey, it's totally fine to walk, because there are tons of people walking, is the way that I can think of to bridge that gap.
I love that because I was traumatized when I first started because we would go on group runs and I thought we were groups, and then I was left way back in the dust and it was 4:30 in the morning. Like I probably should stop talking about this, but clearly this is still
Mm-mm,
coming
nah,
up.
go ahead and let it out.
But it was like, okay, we're training for a certain race, and then everybody's like, okay, it's 10 of us, and then all of a sudden I find myself, I'm literally in the dark and probably maybe 10 minutes behind people. And I had to think too, okay, maybe you shouldn't be running with this group because my pace wasn't as fast as them. But then I also thought, this is a long run, so it's not like we're trying to win anything. We're supposed to be taking it easy, and I know your easy pace may not be my easy pace, but to leave someone is something I would never ever do. If I have to go up and then I still see you and then I circle back around. I mean, and we did that when we were running with you and Tony. Tony would go up and then come back and make sure everybody was cool. Like that, I think that is so important because what it did for me after we finished, I was like, you know what? I'd just rather run by myself.
Mm.
If I'm going to be left out here and it's dark, I don't know where we are because you told me to meet here and it's 4:30 in the morning. I'll just run by myself because I'm not going to be killed out here.
Yeah, yeah. That's the one thing I've realized about Black Girls Run is that a lot of y'all are transplants, so y'all don't have the same idea of certain
Mhm.
running routes that
Yeah.
people who have grown up here do.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes y'all want to meet at 4:30 in Kirkwood or 5 o'clock in Grayson, and I'm just like, y'all,
That's a
this
good
isn't
idea.
safe. This isn't safe, you guys.
But I think that's so important to say, hey, this race, if you run with me, let's just have fun. And I don't think a lot of that is happening. Even for me, I haven't invited people. Maybe I should start saying, hey, you want to run this race? If people are interested, hey, I would love to do a 5K. Hey, okay, let's do it together. And whatever your pace is your pace. And, we do that. I think that's great. I've done it with my husband and my son, but I've never really reached out to people who may be thinking, oh, I would love to start running, but I can't keep up.
Yeah. One thing that I had, like, as an ambassador, one thing that I felt empowered to do was to invite people to races that I think fit them.
Mm.
So I've invited people to like the Thursday group runs that are in the evenings so that, that way you can get out there, you can get a little 5K in,
Mhm.
but, just to sort of get the vibe of the running community. I was able to get my sister to volunteer at a race because she's like, there's no way I'm doing 3 miles at all, not doing it. So for her, just being out there in the race environment, she's like, oh, yeah, this is great. I totally love to do this again.
Wow.
And you don't realize that there are other ways to be a part of the
Yeah.
running community. Like, there's India, who, you know, she just recently had a baby, but she still managed to get out there and do her 5K.
Yeah.
But her biggest contribution to the running community is announcing.
Yes.
Yeah, she brings all of that energy to race day. So, and especially, if you run with her often, when you're crossing the finish line and you hear her voice, it's like,
India.
yeah,
Yeah.
India, yeah,
So
like it just,
when I first started running, she was one of the first people in the running space here in Atlanta that I was like, oh, let me follow her on social media, YouTube, especially. And what I realized over the years, and I don't even think she realizes is, I would love to have her on too. Like the transition of, I thought that this was my life. I thought I was putting out content that was strictly talking about running and these races. And so now she's transitioning to, yeah, I still run, but in this space where just being a mom, my body's doing weird things. She was already preparing herself to be an announcer at some of these. I mean, she literally was at New York City marathon doing
mm-hmm.
announcing people. And this happened with one of the girls that was local. She comes across her first marathon, and here's India. I was like, oh, Sierra, crossing the finish line.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking,
yeah.
that is so dope.
Right, right. And you know that and that's the thing, like people don't realize that you can always contribute to the running community in such different ways. It's like, I do share her content because it's a lot of people that are just like, oh, well, what if I run slow? So you still get the same t-shirt, you get the same medal. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. All that matters is that you get to that finish line.
Yeah.
And that's what her content shows, is
Yeah.
that what matters is being a part of the community. You have to show up no matter what.
Yeah. That's powerful. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. We end every episode with this or that. So you just tell me, early morning runs or evening runs?
Evening runs,
Solo runs or group runs?
group runs,
I already know this one. Gels or food?
food, potatoes, rice,
Mac and
bread,
cheese.
bagels.
No, I had an apple pie slice after my 10 miler, and I was like, yes.
Yes, gotta have it. Gotta have it. I
Okay,
think I'm gonna make
favorite
the. Go ahead.
favorite post snack or food after a run.
Hamburger and a margarita. Yeah, hamburger and a margarita.
Do you
That's it.
Do you have it? Do you make it? Because, see, I can't, when I get home, either I'm going to have to go get it from Wayback Burger immediately,
Hmm.
or if I get home, I have to eat something like immediately. So are you making it at home and eating it,
Now
or
I
you?
gotta go get one. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go
yeah,
get
yeah.
one. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll go get
okay.
something.
What's your favorite burger place?
Probably Grindhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got a couple of locations, and then like that would be my weekend burger place, and then during the week it's Village Burger. So yeah.
See, those are Atlanta places. I'm literally like, is it Burger King or Wendy's?
Oh, okay. There's also let me see who else. There's Steak and Shake.
Oh yeah, those are
Steak and
good.
Shake. Yeah, they have a really good burger. I'd like to go in there and I get the 4 patties. I get 4 patties.
Dang.
Yeah, I am definitely a high protein type of girl.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I've learned some things today. Thank y'all so much for being a part of Be Like Stories. Thank you, Ashley. I think you probably talked more than I expected you to,
Oh,
which
okay.
is
No, I've
great.
been looking forward to this.
Which
I've been
is
looking
so
forward to this. I was
great.
like, wow, this is great. This is
It is
great.
great. And y'all subscribe if you are not subscribers. Check us out. We've got other upcoming episodes. And before you go, do you have any running suspicions? Anything that you're like, oh, I got to do this in order to get this? Or do you have a routine that you swear by? Or breakfast or.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so my favorite like race day breakfast is just a plain baked sweet potato and green tea. Yep. And then, especially if it's a big race, take all the beer that's on the course. Yep.
I did hear the beer, it's a carb.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's carb. Yeah, it's good liquid carbs. It gets in there real quick. You'll be surprised.
I
Yeah.
may try it, but it's got to taste good. I don't want a beer that's nasty. I need a beer that
People
tastes.
are people well, because usually what I see on the course are light beers like Modelo, Coors Light, Miller Light, light beers.
Hmm.
I rarely ever see a red can of Budweiser. Nothing too heavy. Nobody's out there throwing out IPAs. No. No.
I have seen some people take some brown liquor to the head. I'm like,
Oh goodness. Yeah, they're gonna be flying.
oh my gosh, thank you. This was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Definitely. It has been a pleasure.